Hello guys, welcome back to the KP show. We are here with IPL previews. Second team on our list is Sunrisers Hyderabad. Pratik, Sunrisers Hyderabad last to last season were the finalists. Last season they couldn't get started early with they got a couple of wins early, but then they kind of tapered down in the middle, then kicked back towards the end, but unfortunately it was very late for them. Let's see how do they fare in the 2026 IPL. Let's start with the playing 11. So obviously the first three would be common for everybody: Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, Ishan Kishan. Now number 4 and number 5, we have Heinrich Klaasen at number 4, and number 5 would be Nitish Reddy. Maybe somebody would prefer to play Klaasen a bit down the order, but again that depends on the scenario. Then the number 6 for us would be Aniket Verma. Then we have Liam Livingston at number 7. Number 8 ideally would have been Pat Cummins, but since Pat Cummins is unavailable for the first half of the IPL, we are picking Bryden Cars. And then we have Harshal Patel, then we have Harsh Dubey, then Jaydev Unadkat, and the impact player we have picked it to be Cranes Fulletra. I mean, this impact player could be one of the two. It could be Zishan Ansari, who played last season, did impress them a lot, but I think it is possible that Cranes Fulletra might get the first crack into the 11. Depends, but yeah, let's talk about the 11, Pratik. Up to you.
I mean, I don't understand how weak is their bowling this time. Again, means time after time they are doing the same thing, and I really fail to understand. Last year, I think they should have gotten a picture how things happen. I mean, every game you can't go out there and score a 250, 260 score. Anyways, back to the 11 part. I think the batting order picks for themselves, and I see no changes. Maybe somewhere I think one for Aniket Verma, I'm not very sure on his form part, how good his form has been in the domestic this time.
Oh,
So
they have a very good.
Salil Arora or Shivang Kumar may have a crack at that spot, and I think the top six will remain the same for me as well. I will have the same, and maybe Aniket Verma, they may go for the inform player in Shivang Yadav or Shivang Kumar or Salil Arora, whoever is better.
Oh,
And yeah, Bryden Cars is a very interesting pick, I think, especially with the ball and his ability to pick wickets. Maybe he's not the quickest out there, but he's a very smart operator with the ball, if you see. So I was very excited to see him last year in the squad, but he had to pull out because of some unfortunate injury just before the IPL last year. So good to see him back in the scheme of
mm,
things. And this time I think he'll get a lot more games, at least till Cummins is out.
mm,
And Harshal Patel and Jaydev Unadkat, the IPL veterans, I think they have to do a lot of heavy lifting in the middle overs as well as the death overs.
mm.
And the spin department again falls to Harsh Dubey. I think he will be picked because he is a good defensive bowler, left arm spinner, and terrific domestic run, especially in red ball cricket. So has got brilliant defensive bowling skills. And Jishan Ahmed was impressive in few games which he played last year. But even I am interested to see Fulletra because he is a left arm Chinaman, which is a very rare commodity in high level cricket.
Yeah. So I think Salil Arora, firstly, is one of the best. I mean, if you look at his performances in SMAT 2025, it's been absolutely magnificent. And I, I mean, in the auction, people went a lot for Karthik Sharma because he hits those big sixes, and that was all the fame that he had, right? He went for over 14 crores. Salil Arora in the auction, I don't think he went for more than maybe 2.5 or 3 crores, maybe even lesser, if I'm not wrong. But he is equally good, if not better. I can tell you that because I have seen him play. He plays for Punjab. He can like hit the ball really big and long. I mean, he scored that 125 of 45, that knock. That was absolutely brilliant. He averages over 50 and strikes over 200. Talk about form. I think they'll start with Aniket Verma, and if at all he falters at any point of time, or maybe even let's say if Liam Livingston is not adding great value to their team, they can at any point of time go with Salil Arora. I'm really excited to see that guy into any of the 11s, preferably this season in Sunrisers, or if not, probably some other team in the next season. So yeah, that's that. And coming to the bowling part, the spin department, as you said. So I would have ideally wanted to have both Zishan and Cranes Fulletra, like two wrist spinners, which is your dream. Surprisingly, I am having this for Sunrisers Hyderabad because why not go full aggressive, right? Why go defensive at all? Like you have this batting which can go crazy. Having two wrist spinners, obviously they can go for a plenty, but they can pick up wickets, and that's what, as you mentioned, is something that they lack. Probably not gonna happen, but I wish they could do that.
Yeah, you can. That's a fair shout, but again, both of them are very inexperienced. Means
Yeah, that's
Jishan
the problem.
as well as Fuletra. So it's like too much risk, if you ask me. But yeah, it's
Mm.
an interesting pick. If if they play on some black soil wickets, maybe all the three spinners could play.
Yeah, and add to them Livingston. He can also bowl.
Yeah,
He can also bowl.
Livingston is there. He can bowl both ways, like leg spin to righties and off spin to lefties. So he's a smart operator as well.
So basically, they have decent options, but again, how good they will be is something which none of us know at this point. This point, it looks very bleak, at least in terms of pace bowling. Even if you add Pat Cummins to this, it still doesn't, you know, paint a great picture at this point of time. So moving on to the next section, which is strength. I mean, for me, it is very clear the strength is their batting and that explosive top four that they have. I don't think, maybe barring Mumbai Indians, but again, even with Mumbai Indians also, it is, you can debate about it. I think SRH has the best
I
top
think
four.
the explosiveness, I don't think SRH, there is no match to SRH this time.
Mm.
Maybe, if not Mumbai Indians, actually, I'll give a fair shout out to Lucknow Super Giants for the explosiveness part.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
they also
compare
have.
the explosivity, what the top four of SRH has, I think only LSG comes close with that kind of,
Mm.
power. And but the form, again, the form part, not not too great for both Travis Head as well as Abhishek Sharma.
Mm.
I think they have to go all guns blazing this time.
Mm.
And last year it didn't work out. The previous year, means in 2024, they were striking at 185 uh, as a partnership.
Mm.
So I think that is the key. And then Ishan Kishan's form, I think in the last 6 months, I think he has been batting way out of his league as of now. I mean, finally, it seems Ishan Kishan, the batter that we always dreamt of, or what he should have been, is finally coming into the groove. And uh, Klassen can go, I mean, berserk on his day. Same with
Yeah.
Livingston, but Klassen is way more consistent. One interesting pick is Nitish Kumar Reddy. I think he is a very, very key player in the system.
Mm.
Especially last year, also we talked about him a lot, at how he forms the bridge between Klassen and the top order. But unfortunately, that didn't work out last year. I hope this year he does well with the bat,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah. So let's move on to the weakness. I think we both glaringly told everybody what their weakness is, and that is, of course, their bowling. I don't think there's anything to add here as well. We've already pretty much nailed it.
I mean, the problem with their bowling I see is in none of the phases. If I divide a T20 game, excuse me, into three parts, like 1 to 6 opening power play, then 7 to 15 the middle overs, then 16 to 20 the death overs. I don't think they have the bowling attack to boss any of these three phases, even with Pat Cummins playing. That's the problem. I mean, how are you planning to choke the opposition? Is my point. I mean, for them, it's like if the run rate is 12 runs and over, or like two balls, two sixes are needed, you consider six and a four, and I'm happy. I can't be happier than that. It's that kind of a situation for them.
Mm.
So I really don't understand the thought process behind whatever went into that auction and whatever things they're planning with the bowling attack. I mean, every game it's not possible for you or your batters to score a 240 plus. What happened last year?
Mm.
They started off brilliantly, then they tapered off.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
were scoring 16 overs, 190, and they got all out.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that looks fancy, but it doesn't win you games. So at the end of the day, if the result is not there, it simply doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's also more about percentages, right? Any ideology that you bring in, it's also about percentages. Like, how many games out of 10 is this gonna work? How many games out of 10 is it not gonna work? So that kind of trade-offs you have to make. And I think, yeah, the bowling is not good, man, to be very honest. So let's move on to how to beat this team. Again, this is also more on the lines of what we discussed earlier. So top four is their engine. So if you can get at least three out of these four batters early on, like within the first 2 or 3 overs of the power play, then SRH can be in real trouble. Although they have batting depth, they can be in real trouble because we've seen this happen so many times in the last season. So this is one key. Probably you can try an off spinner because they have top three left-handers. Something that happened to India in World T20. Then we had to bring in Samson. You can try that, but I don't think it'll work out that better here because we know it's gonna be a flat deck and Travis Head is gonna just bash anybody you put in front of him early on, especially.
The problem with them, if you see in last year as well, this "How do you beat them" segment, I'd say is bold title lines to both of these players, especially Abhishek and Travis Head, because both of them love the offside, love to
Mm,
open up their arms. So
mm,
anything slightly wider of the off stump, they love to smack it over point to somewhere from backward point to till wide long off. They just
mm,
spoke it, both of them, Head as well as Abhishek. So this is something I think last year the bowlers corrected a lot. They didn't give a lot of room to both of this. And Ishan Kishan part, I think the off spin troubles has been a lot for him lately. Even in the World Cup, I think he got out off spin 5 times. Means he got a lot of runs of the other bowlers, but against off spin, his average was like 12 or something, or
mm,
even single digit. I think single digit average, 8 or 9 he averages, and with 5 dismissals. So that's a key point, as you mentioned, off spin to these batters, especially Ishan Kishan and Klassen slightly struggled against the change of pace stuff last year. If you see, in fact, in the last couple of years, Klassen starts off brilliantly, but with the variations part, sometimes it tends to struggle. And same
yep.
happens with Livingston as well. So these are a few things which you can use to hold pin them down. And the bowling itself, I think they have to
Is
perform out of their skin, I believe.
yeah, yeah. So I think
Because
just to summarize how to beat them, get the top three or top four early if you can, and then go hard on their bowling. You can definitely take them for plenty, given the inexperience and the lack of genuine quality. I must be really honest here. So that's that. Let's move on to the next segment. Top three performers. Who are your top three performers? Who do you think will be the key for
I,
SRH?
I am going Abhishek, Klassen, and Ishan Kishan. Especially Ishan Kishan, I think this is his years. His year, I believe. I think
Mm,
it really can be with what he has achieved in the last 6 months or so. With Smart with Jharkhand, then come back into the India team, come back with a bang, 100 at Trivandrum, then terrific World Cup. I think it is his year this time. And
yeah.
Klassen, I think Klassen is all back from a long break. I believe to SA20 he played and didn't have the greatest of outings in the SA20, but
Mm,
still, I believe Klassen can do it.
mm. So for me also, it's exactly the same. Abhishek, Ishan, and Klassen. And Pratik, I've got to be really honest. I was doing a bit of research on using some AI stuff as well, and I asked the AI, "Who do you think is going to be the top three performers?" And that gave exactly the same result. So I think all of us are thinking on the same lines. Probably this would be the same for a lot of our viewers as well. I mean, we'd request our viewers to comment who do you think is going to be the top three performers for SRH. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, moving on to the next segment, surprise performers or somebody who's low key but you think can make a big impact in this IPL.
For me, it is Nitish Reddy. and I'll tell
Mm,
you why. I think with the kind of new ball options that they have this time, I think Nitish Reddy is going to be the key, and he is going to be with the new ball. Because
mm,
I saw some footages of last year's Vijay Hazare, and he was bowling with the new ball for Andhra, even picked up a hat trick there. So I believe this is going to be his year, especially with the ball. I mean, he is
mm,
going to play a big part with the new ball, because I don't see anyone playing the bowling with the new ball. Because
mm,
Unathkat lately hasn't bowled a lot with the new ball in the IPL, mostly in the middle overs and at the death. Harshal
mm,
Patel, after 6 overs, he bowls. So Bryden Cars is the only option. The spinners, with what they have, did none of them bowl in the power play. So it has to be Nitish Reddy this time with the new ball, I believe. So he becomes a
mm,
very key figure in their system. And also with the bat, I think it has to be his redemption year. I think last year, after the 100 at MCG, we expected a lot from him, especially us, both of us. We,
mm.
how much we adore that uh,
Yeah.
kind of player profile, like the fast bowling all rounder from India. That is so rare, and unfortunately, that season was marred with injuries, and he could not come out pretty well, side strain and all of that stuff. So I believe Nitish Reddy is going to be my surprise performer this time.
Yeah, I think couldn't agree more on that with regards to Nitish Reddy. I won't call it as a make or break season for him, but it is because he's got plenty of years still to go. I think it's a make or go to the back of the line kind of season for Nitish Reddy. If he doesn't perform in this season, probably he's going to be pushed to the back in terms of the T20 setup for India, because there are plenty of players already. And with Australia being the host nation for the next World T20, I think he can be a crucial player for us. So I hope he does perform well. But yeah, my surprise pick for Sunrisers Hyderabad is Cranes Poletra or Zishan Ansari. One of the two, whoever gets to play games. I don't know who they're gonna pick. That is why I picked these two. Again, this also comes out of circumstance. It's not something that I have gone in and watched them how they bowl. And of course, I've seen Zishan Ansari bowl in the last season of the IPL. But it's not like I've gone to domestic and I've seen them properly bowl in what circumstances they bowl. But it's just out of circumstance for SRH, because I don't see any proper wicket taker in their lineup. The only wicket taking option would be the wrist spinner that they have, and whoever it is, whoever plays, I believe is going to get a lot of wickets, because yeah, people are going to attack them for sure. Or if they don't attack them, then they'll be economical. So either way, I believe it's a win-win situation. I could be totally wrong, but it's just a prediction at the end of the day. So that's that. And now the big question before we close up this video, the question is, Pratik, do you think SRH has what it takes to qualify for the playoffs? It's a yes or no question. No explanations. No ifs and
A
buts.
very, a very sneaky yes. I mean, I want them to qualify, so that's why yes.
For
They are
me,
my second favorite team, so yeah,
mm,
in that aspect, yeah.
unfortunately, it's a no. I don't think they will be able to qualify. Although I could be horribly wrong. I have been wrong plenty of times. They've got brilliant batting depth. Let's see if their batters can take them to the top four and maybe even to the title. So that's that. That's it for the video. We'll be back with two other teams. The next two on the radar are the Mumbai Indians and the Kolkata Knight Riders. So stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one. Up until then, just let us know your thoughts. Let us know your comments in this chat box. So we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.